If you've seen the footage from Kathmandu this week, you know it looks less like a capital city and more like a flashpoint smoke. Crowds, sirens everywhere, parliament literally on fire, ministers thrashed by mobs, and the Supreme Court torched. What's fueling this chaos in the Himalayas?
It's wild to see a country like Nepal, usually associated with serene landscapes, being consumed by such open unrest. The sheer intensity Prime Minister's home set ablaze, streets flooded with protesters, signals this isn't your average demonstration. It's a total upheaval, and you can feel the frustration boiling over.
Absolutely. And what's so striking is just how quickly things spiraled. We're talking about a government crackdown on Monday, deadly force used, and less than 48 hours later, top leaders are fleeing their homes. It's like the lid finally blew off a pressure cooker.
That's exactly it. When 19 protesters are killed and over 100 injured in a single day, the anger only multiplies. It's not just about today's violence. There's a sense that years of pent-up frustration are being unleashed all at once. For a country as young as Nepal, this is seismic.
What really set this all off, though, was something that sounds almost unthinkable for Gen Z. A ban on 26 social media platforms, including Instagram and Facebook. It's the digital lifeline for so many young Nepalese. How did that escalate things so fast?
When a government pulls the plug on social media, especially in a country where nearly half the population is under 40, it's more than an inconvenience, it's a direct hit on their identity and their voice. For Gen Z in Nepal, this was the last straw.
That reminds me, protesters weren't just angry about losing memes and messaging. The ban tapped into deeper frustrations: corruption, joblessness, and the sense that leaders are out of touch. This really was about much more than just being offline.
Exactly, and you could see it in the slogans and the scale of the protests. Young people pouring into the streets, not just to demand internet access, but to demand real change. The social media blackout was just the spark in a room already filled with fumes.
So the government tried to clamp down with a heavy-hand curfews, water cannons, even live ammunition. Instead of quelling unrest, it seems like it poured gasoline on the fire. Why do you think that approach failed so badly?
Harsh crackdowns almost always backfire when people are already this frustrated. When the government responded with bullets, it sent a message that dissent wasn't just unwelcome, it was dangerous. That, ironically, made people angrier and more desperate.
I've seen that pattern in other countries too, but in Nepal's case, the violence didn't just escalate, it forced the Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli to resign by midday. It's rare to see a leader ousted so fast under street pressure.
It's a stunning turnaround. The moment violence became deadly, the government's legitimacy evaporated. The fact that an army helicopter had to airlift Oli out of his own home, the symbolism couldn't be clearer. The old guard was literally running for cover.
One thing that really stands out is how indiscriminate the anger was. Not just government ministers, but opposition leaders, even former prime ministers, were targeted by protesters. That level of rage is rare in modern politics.
It's almost like the entire ruling class, regardless of party, became a symbol of everything wrong. The finance minister was chased and stripped. The foreign minister attacked alongside her husband, who's a former PM. Even the main opposition leader's house wasn't spared.
That suggests this isn't about left or right, but about a total rejection of the status quo. People are just tired of political musical chairs while the economy stagnates and corruption festers.
Exactly. And it sends a chilling message to anyone in power. No one's immune. When protests move beyond party lines, it's a sign the system itself is what people are rejecting.
With the government collapsing, the army's now on the streets. Ministers are under protection, and the president is pleading for calm. Even the airports are shut down, no flights in or out. What's the atmosphere in Kathmandu like right now?
It's tense and unpredictable. There are celebrations mixed with running clashes. The youth are still facing off with riot police in some neighborhoods, even as some groups are dancing in the streets. The whole city feels on edge, and the focus is on restoring some kind of order.
Several countries issuing travel advisories really underscores the seriousness. And with rumors swirling about the president's resignation later debunked, it's clear the information environment is just as chaotic.
That's the thing when instability hits, misinformation spreads like wildfire. The president's urging talks, but trust is at an all-time low. People want more than just promises. They want a system overhaul.
So now, there's a power vacuum. The president wants Oli's cabinet to stay on as caretakers, but the protesters are demanding new, younger faces. Who's actually being talked about as Nepal's potential next leaders?
Balendra Shah, Kathmandu's 35-year-old mayor, is one name that keeps coming up. He's a former rapper, which really resonates with Gen Z. Then there's Rabi Lamichhane, recently released from jail, who draws crowds with his anti-corruption message.
Funny how a former rapper and a recently jailed politician are now seen as beacons of hope. But it really shows how much the old guard has lost credibility and how hungry young people are for leaders who understand them.
The big question is whether these new faces can actually deliver, or if we'll see more turmoil. The next 42 hours will be critical for Nepal. Revolution is one thing, but building lasting change is so much harder.